How's she going, eh? So, I need to put some more plugs in this shed. I have a bunch on the one side of the shed, but I added my toolbox. I brought it down. It was a pain in the ass. I had to friggin' get it from all the way up there to back here, and it weighs about 600 pounds. So, but anyway, I got it back here, but it's got these power bars on it that I need a spot to plug in, and I'm also just short on plugs on this this here bench, so I want to add some plugs in. I'd like to add one over here, and I might add one over here too. So we'll get to that. My other plugs that are in here already are at 44 inches. I'm gonna come over, let's see here. We got a plug there. I'm gonna come over 1, 2, 3, 4 studs. Or do I go 5? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll go 5 studs actually. And then we'll mark 44 inches to the bottom. Whoop. There we go. So that's all you gotta do is hammer the boxes on. So I'll put the rest of these boxes on where I want them. Alright, and we'll go 5 more. 1, 2, we'll call that a stud. 3, 4, 5. There you go. Let's put a plug here too. 44. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the wires from the last box first, and we'll bounce our way back until we get back to the panel. So I'll start here. I'm going to drill some holes through the studs. I'm not 100% sure still about the electrical rules in the States, but in Canada, it's you got to have a staple within 6 inches of the box. So I'm going to make my hole somewhere above, up here, and then we're going to drill the holes through the studs. There's no way all these breakers are being used, so we'll figure that part out after, but let's start with drilling some holes for this stuff. I'm going to use a 3/4 to drill the hole, so I'm going to come up around here somewhere, Maybe I'll mark it off so we get a good system. We'll go 18. Ignore what I said. So 18, 18. 18. So we're just gonna go along and I'm gonna mark on these studs at 18. 18, blah blah blah. Okay, now we drill through the center of the stud. Actually, you can keep it a little closer to the back if you want. Hey, just another point. So if you're gonna put drywall up, you can buy metal plates from Home Depot that go over, you pound them on with a hammer. So you're gonna drill your holes and then you're gonna pound those plates on. The purpose of them is if you put up drywall and you're screwing through here, you don't send a screw into your electrical wire. So you'd pound those on all the studs where your holes are. So I'll go ahead and drill these holes. There we go. And just sort of continue your way around. We can pull our wire. 14 gauge for 15 amps. So if you have a 15 amp breaker, you're running 15 amp plugs, 14 gauge wire. If it's 20 amp, like in a kitchen, you need to make sure you get 20 amp plugs, you need a 20 amp breaker, and you need 12 gauge wire. I'm trying to open these up a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna leave, I don't know, something like use something like 8 to 10 inches, and then you go ahead and staple that wire. Get some staples like this at Home Depot, NM staples. They do 14, 12, or 10 gauge. Okay? So I believe it's going to be within 6 inches of the box. You need to have a staple. Also, you don't want to go too tight. You don't want to pinch the wire. Oops. See, we're tight, but we're not pinching the wire. Alright. Okay. Alright. You all right? All right, so this is what you need to do. You're gonna drill your holes between your boxes and you're gonna run your wires. So there's a few more aspects as far as where you're gonna pull the power from that you need to figure out. There's limits to how many devices you can have on a breaker. So you might want to look up your local codes or ask your nice electrician friend. Probably going to want to ask them anyway, since I'm not an electrician. I just do this stuff myself sometimes. So and I'm just giving you the basic idea of what the heck you're doing. If you want to run a couple boxes or switches somewhere, you can absolutely handle it if you got a little bit of sense. And go behind here. So all right. Again, you don't want to overdo that. You don't want it to be pinched. Like this guy. See? I didn't do this, but you see how tight that is? It's like pinched. That's not what you want. So don't do that. I like my wires to be somewhat straight, so it looks a little bit better. So we'll go here. Okay. All right, so I ran a wire from this box, which is the last one, so we'll go through this again just to give you an idea. So I ran a wire from here to this box, to this box, up here to this box, and then I ran a wire from here back over to this panel. Okay, and then I'm going to tie it in to this breaker here, which powers those two plugs that are along the counter there already. So that's the game plan. All right, so went around and stripped all my wires. So now we'll go ahead and put these plugs on. We could use the old hole shove method, but your gold screws are your hot side, your silver screws are your neutrals. So, I mean, I guess we could just use the old jam and wham technique if you want. And then we'll go ahead and just tighten these screws down. All right, we're gonna go ahead and attach this. All right. See what happens. All right, let's check our plugs. Good. 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 Ow! Let me shut these off and put them in their holes. I electrocuted myself. That was dumb.